Welcome to Xiao Voice. Continuing from the previous episode 131. The area outside the hall was a spacious empty tract of land with a great view. At a glance, one's sight would extend until the edge of the empty land. There were some lush green woods located on the edge, forming a circular shape that wrapped around the large hall. Xiao stood outside the large hall. His expression was a calm, but the dou qi in his body had begun to slowly surge. The feeling of being filled with energy spread across every single corner of his body. Numerous elders from the Burning Flame Valley had swarmed out of the exit of the large hall. The one leading them was naturally Tang Zhen, Tang Huo, as well as the two elders. Due to this large hall being a place that many Burning Flame Valley's disciples frequented, quite a number of these disciples caught sight of the elders when they had just appeared. From this lineup, all the disciples knew that something had happened even without being told. Hence, numerous private conversations spread in all directions like a wave of water. Within less than 10 minutes, the surroundings of the large hall were densely packed with red figures. Xiao ignored the surroundings that had swiftly become lively. His gaze merely stared at a red-robed elder across from him. This person was Wu Chen. At this moment, Wu Chen's hands were placed behind him. His old face contained a faint smile. The gap between his strength and that of Xiao was like that of the heaven and earth. Although he had heard some rumors related to Xiao, this did not cause him to be overly worried. In front of absolute strength, trickery and unorthodox tactics would be completely useless. Tang Zhen, who was on the stairs, frowned as he glanced at Wu Chen. After which, his eyes helplessly turned to Xiao as he asked, "Are you really certain?" Xiao smiled and nodded to Tang Zhen in the face of these words. Wu Chen was indeed very stronger. However, from the current Xiaoyan's perspective, Wu Chen was not as thorough as those prehistoric wild beasts that were unmatched. He had the confidence to last for 10 exchanges. What a stubborn fellow. Tang Zhen could only sigh when he saw Xiao nod. The smile on Wu Chen's face increased when he saw that Xiao did not change his mind midway through. He looked at Xiao and spoke with a faint smile. There is no need to say anything else. If you can last for 10 exchanges in the hands of the old me, it will be considered your victory. The Skyfire 3 mysterious change will also belong to you. However, if you fail to endure, it will only mean that you do not have any affinity with the Skyfire 3 mysterious change. However, you will still be allowed to choose one of the other high-class chi methods or dou skills from the Burning Flame Valley. Some of the disciples from the Burning Flame Valley immediately burst into an uproar when they heard Wu Chen's words. Numerous disbelieving eyes looked to Xiao. Although quite a number of people were aware of Xiao alchemist skill, being a brilliant alchemist did not mean that one was strong. Wu Chen was the third elder of the Burning Flame Valley. There was hardly anyone whose strength was greater than his, yet this young man, who looked to be of similar age as them, was actually thinking of fighting him? There is no need for Elder Wu's reminder. If I fail to endure, the little me will immediately leave and will not have extravagant hopes about other chi methods or dou skills. Xiao spoke in an indifferent manner. He did not really like this old fellow. Wu Chen did not mind Xiaoyan's tone when he heard this. He smiled and nodded. As long as he could prevent the Skyfire 3 mysterious change from landing in outsiders' hands, it was fine even if his reputation deteriorated. In any case, there must be someone who acts as the bad guy. Otherwise, everyone would think that the top secret technique of their Burning Flame Valley was something that others could just randomly obtain. This was really a little too childish. Wu Chen gently took a step forward. An unusually majestic, fiery red dou qi surged out of Wu Chen's body. At this moment, his white hair scattered, and his red robe fluttered. The momentum was extremely shocking. The fiery red dou qi was just like a fire cloud that permeated the air. The originally ordinary and calm eyes of Wu Chen also emitted a piercing glow. He looked to Xiao while his voice contained a powerful and frightening tone. "Are you ready?" Xiao gently took 2 steps back. Dou qi began to flow rapidly within his body. His expression also gradually became solemn. Immediately, he beckoned with his right hand and said, "Attack." Wu Chen let out a loud laugh when he heard this. Under the influence of the majestic dou qi, the laughter sounded just like thunder as it resonated over the sky. Wu Chen took a step forward and his body instantly disappeared. In the eyes of an ordinary Burning Flame Valley disciple, Wu Chen appeared to have disappeared in a strange manner. However, in the eyes of Xiao Yan and those with similar or greater strength, it was possible for them to vaguely see a red figure creating a deafening sonic boom as it suddenly arrived. Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes. A silver glow swiftly surged under his feet and his body immediately shook. Boom! A fiery red fist appeared in a strange fashion and heavily smashed into Xiao Yan's chest. Immediately, it carried a low, deep sound as it penetrated his chest. Afterimage? This should be the 3000 lightning movement from the Wind Lightning Pavilion, right? It is unique. Wu Chen's face did not show the slightest change after his punch proved futile. He let out a cold smile and shattered the afterimage. Flames lingered over both of his hands and these hands gradually became a little larger in the process. Looking from a distance, it appeared just like a pair of warhammers. Xiao Yan flashed and appeared around a couple of dozens of meters to the left of Wu Chen. He lowered his head and glanced at his slightly charred, black clothes. A solemnness also flashed across his eyes. Wu Chen was indeed worthy of being the third elder of the Burning Flame Valley. This strength was indeed quite shocking. However, after the earlier attack, Xiao Yan was able to vaguely estimate Wu Chen's speed. It seemed to be inferior to Fei Tian. However, the strength of his attack was much mightier than Fei Tian's attacks. If Xiao Yan was struck by an attack of such a level, he would immediately lose his combat strength. Xiao Yan's body had just appeared when a caution flashed across his heart. He strode to his left in a lightning-like manner. Kai! Xiao Yan's body had just moved when a fiery red, large hand suddenly brushed past the clothes near Xiao Yan's abdomen. The hot dough qi contained in the flame caused Xiao Yan's skin to feel a slight pain. Pure young cotton hand. Before Xiao Yan could swiftly pull back after narrowly dodging this large hand, a low cry suddenly sounded. Immediately, he saw the fiery red hand strangely extend by half its size. The wrist turned and slammed into Xiao Yan's waist. Bang! A low, deep sound appeared and Xiao Yan's body flew back amid the exclamations from the crowd. After which, his feet stepped on empty air, forcing him to roll in the air. After which, he landed with one knee on the ground and abruptly raised his head. A trace of blood was vaguely present on the corner of his mouth. Wu Chen's strange dough skill had caused him to suffer a great loss. Wu Chen's body also appeared a couple dozen meters away. His fiery red hands were clenched while he looked at Xiao Yan. He faintly said, "Pure young cotton hand, one of the high-class dough skills of the Burning Flame Valley. If one reaches complete mastery, one would be able to make one's hands extend as one pleases. It will be able to obtain quite a unique effect when fighting with others. You are indeed worthy of being the third elder of the Burning Flame Valley. This tactic is indeed admirable." Xiao Yan rubbed off the trace of blood on the corner of his mouth. The glazed lotus heart flame within his body swiftly surged and swallowed a wild, violent hidden force, which had entered his body, in the most rude, violent method it could manage. After which, he stared at Wu Chen and laughed, again. Wu Chen was startled when he looked at Xiao Yan, who had not fallen as a result of the earlier blow. He immediately knit his eyebrows together. This pure young cotton hand was not only about to catch the opponent off guard, but its attack also carried a wild, violent hidden force made of fire. This force was able to enter the other person's body and cause a great amount of destruction. Even if the other person was able to quickly react and avoid being injured, it would cause the other party to split his focus while being entangled with that hidden force. However, at a glance, why was Xiao Yan completely fine? This fellow really did not get his reputation in the northern region from nothing. Looks like the old me also needs to be a little more serious. Wu Chen's face gradually turned solemn as this thought flashed through his heart. His fiery red, large hand was also became brighter. At the same time, a flame like dough qi slowly surged from under both his feet. The old me also wishes to experience the Wind Lightning Pavilion's 3000 lightning movement. I want to see if my Burning Flame Valley's sky-shattering stone steps are stronger or if their 3000 lightning movement is better. Wu Chen laughed. His right foot, covered in flames, suddenly stomped on the ground. Bang! A muffled sound appeared. The tough rock under Wu Chen's foot cracked apart. His body emitted a kai sound as it strangely disappeared. The solemnness on Xiao Yan's face became denser the instant Wu Chen disappeared. A moment later, all the pores on his body opened wide. The 3000 lightning movement was unleashed by him to its limit as a reflexive action, and an afterimage appeared. Kai, the fiery red human figure, carried a low, deep sonic boom as it ruthlessly collided with the afterimage like a human-shaped tank. The afterimage instantly collapsed. The fiery red human figure immediately stabilized his body after having missed. A sonic boom erupted in front of him and a crack appeared on the ground. Without waiting for this sonic boom to spread, the fiery red human figure once again violently stomped on the ground. His body was just like a rocket that rose into the air. In an instant, he had appeared in front of Xiao Yan. What swift speed! Xiao Yan's expression changed as he glanced at the red figure, which approached in a flash. The Do's skill which Wu Chen had displayed might not be as agile and flexible as the 3000 lightning movement, but its forward momentum and destructive strength were exceedingly terrifying. A heavy ruler appeared in Xiao Yan's hands while the veins in his arms pounded. He let out a cold cry in his heart, 6-joint body flowing ruler, 6-joint flame. The first move that Xiao Yan used was the strongest move of the 6-joint body flowing ruler. He did not hold anything back because Xiao Yan was clearly aware that a fight with an 8-star Dozong was one that was extremely arduous. The heavy ruler was accompanied by an incomparable wind as it furiously hacked down. It had just been swung when a red figure appeared. The large hands full of a red glow ruthlessly smashed at the heavy ruler while fiery red Do Chi surged. Clang! A clear metallic sound reverberated across the sky. Immediately, an intense rippling force spread through the air in a lightning-like manner. After which, the two figures flew backwards in front of the anxious gazes over everyone. Finally, they collided with the towering walls around the large hall. Bang! The wall behind Xiao Yan had been depressed, forming a large hole in the process. Cracks spread out like a spiderweb. He let out a soft cough before he slowly raised his head and rubbed off the trace of blood on the corner of his mouth. The wild, heated expression in his eyes revealed his addiction to battle, causing the hearts of those around to be shaken. This fellow dared to collide with an 8-star expert Dozong. Such courage really caused others to have no choice but to be impressed. Again, Xiao Yan stepped forward. His voice once again resonated over the ground. That wild heat within his voice caused the skin on one's head to feel numb.